Let's look at a simple optimization problem. Find two positive numbers whose product is 100 and whose sum is a minimum. So let's start off by finding our two functions. So our product is 100, that's going to be one function. So let's say two numbers, x and y, their product is going to be equal to 100, and whose sum is a minimum. Well, our sum is just going to be equal to x plus y. Now, we have our constraint of x, y is equal to 100, so we know that we're optimizing our sum function. But to optimize it, we have to differentiate, and we have a slight issue. We have our x's and our y's, which will make it hard to differentiate. So we can surpass this by just rewriting our x and y product function to be in terms of y. And we'll just do that by dividing by x. So now we can take our sum function, we'll call it big S of x, because now it's just in terms of x, and we'll rewrite it as x plus 100 over x. Now that we have a function that we can differentiate, let's begin doing so. S prime of x is going to be equal to 1 plus negative 100 x to the negative 2. Or we'll just rewrite that to make it easier to understand. All right. So now that we have our differentiated function, we'll set this equal to 0. Start solving for x. We'll move the negative 100 over x squared to the left, so we'll become positive, equal to 1. And then we just multiply both sides by x squared. So we have our function x squared is equal to 100 now. We can solve for x even further to have x is equal to plus or minus 10. But remember that our problem is asking for two positive numbers, so we could just focus on our positive and not our negative. So we have x is equal to 10. Now that we have a value, after we optimized, we have to check that it is a minimum. So on a graph, a minimum is pretty much just defined as the lowest point in the general area. As we can notice, our slope of this part is decreasing and then it goes to increasing. So let's check two numbers on either side of 10. We'll say 1 and 11. If our optimized function is a minimum, then 1 should give us a negative value and 11 should give us a positive, fulfilling this requirement of a negative decreasing slope and a positive increasing slope. So let's check s prime of 1, which is going to be equal to 1 minus 100 all over 1 squared. That is just going to be equal to negative 99. And that is a negative number. Let's check s prime of 11. That'll give us 1 minus 100 over 11 squared. Simplifying this will give us 121 minus 100 all over 121. And that leaves us with positive 21 over 121. Positive. So we verified that our slope of our function is decreasing. It gets to 10 and then it increases. So we verified that it is a minimum. So two numbers whose product is 100 and whose sum is a minimum is going to be 10 and 10.